Well, that's Love Hunter, the title track from the next Whitesnake album. David, a lot of people, though we might not want them to do this, will have been listening to that thinking, how does it compare with Gillan? How does it compare with Rainbow? Do you get fed up with being thought of as an ex-Deep Purple person?
No, I actually think that it's more of a media responsibility than the people comparing us to other members of the Purple family. I think it's more a media hang-up than the actual kids, you know. I never get hung up about it. It's just sometimes I would like very much to have Whitesnake known as a rock band rather than a spin-off from another combo, as it were.
How does the band work now? You've got John, you've got Ian playing with you live again. How does it work in comparison with those days? Is it very much your band this time?
It's very much a democratic outfit in those terms. Everyone thinks it's my band basically because I started it. I don't have any feelings of it being my band. We all have our equal says. It was just in the initial period, of course, promoters and agents wanted to stick some name on it. I just wanted it to be called Whitesnake, which thank God it is now. But of course it had to start off with David Coverdale's Whitesnake, which sounds a bit like Graham Bond, the travel organisation company. Yeah.
Comparing that track with what we heard on the first Whitesnake album, it sounds better produced. It sounds like you're playing better together as well.
Oh yeah, of course. Well, that's a logical progression of being together. We made Trouble when we'd been together like 3 months or something. There was a lot of naivety, and there's still a lot of naivety going down, but it's a bit closer to the rhythm and blues approach that we wanted to, or progressive rhythm and blues that we want to pursue.
Do you still record in the traditional way of laying the instruments on one on
the
top
red
of the
lights
other?
on, yeah.
Or do you actually play together as a band live in the studio?
Well, actually, one of the problems of the Trouble album was that we were ever so keen, and we went over the top a little on overdubs and things. Of course, at that time, we didn't really have a keyboard player, because John came in later and put the keyboards on, so there was layers of guitar all over. Whereas with the new album, we've concentrated on keeping it as basic, or as primitive, if you like, as possible. So the reproduction live will be better, in fact, than the recording. The spark is on the album of like a live performance, which is good.
Now, you've presumably co-written all the songs as per usual, have you?
As per usual, yeah. Is that an insult?
No, I'm interested to know how you write a song. I mean, you're the vocalist, you don't play anything on the record. Do you play guitar yourself, in fact?
I play guitar, piano. According to a press release, David plays guitar and a little piano. I can imagine a miniature version there. Yeah, it's a very natural feeling for me to express myself. Whether I can express myself a little more poetically or animalistic or whatever by music rather than just the written form in terms of books or poems. It's a coincidence that apparently I've got a voice, which my mother doesn't agree with, but fortunately a lot of people do.
Once the song's written then, or thought up, how much work do you do on your vocal styling? Do you find that it's something that comes fairly spontaneously to you?
Yeah, totally. There's no preconception or whatever. It's just total what I would like to call feel, in a rock sense. It's very spontaneous. Yeah.
What about other heavy metal vocalists? People are going to spot similarities between you and Paul Rodgers on that track that we've just heard.
It's actually, the coincidences between Paul and myself are very close because we were both from Teesside. I think the onus of the blame lies on ICI pollution rather than any conscious copying. I never really listened to Paul, to be quite honest, until Blackmore said you sound like him. And then I was curious, and Paul's one of the best, if not the best. It's just pure coincidence. There's no influence. My influence is more or less black music from America, early blues and phrasing, and so it seems is Paul's.
Well, looking forward to your appearance at Reading. The Scorpions are there now. Gillan's
so
there.
I gather, yeah. I'll be able to speak some German. Yeah.
That's good. It's going to be something of a battle of the bands. Are you looking forward to that?
Competition's always good as long as it's healthy and not pompous. I just want to entertain the kids. That's all. That's all I'm there for. I'm not interested in upstaging or being upstaged by anybody else. I'm a musician, which is my responsibility is to the group and to the audience, which is what we'll be exercising as normal.
And what are your plans for the rest of the year? Are you going on the road to promote the album?
Well, yeah, we're supposed to be doing something shortly, but everything's being kept under wraps at the moment. But something that is going very well is the British tour. We've got one projected for the late autumn. And apparently, without any advertising, we're doing very well, which will coincide with the new album release, I think, which is mid-September. And everything looks quite rosy, which is good. Should be a lot of fun.
And is there any chance of you writing as a new signature tune?
From what I gathered, if you knew what Belgian Tom's hat-trick meant, I think you might have thought twice about using it. But Mickey's very flattered, I am.
It's a good one too. We'll hear it again in just a minute to close the show. In the meantime, here's another track from Love Hunter. This is Rock and Roll Women. Thank you, David.
Thank you.